there he is. Got him. We are going to try to use an underwater camera to catch lake trout. Now, my older videos, I really focused on the underwater camera. And this company called FishPRO actually reached out to me and says, we got a cooler, lighter weight camera that shoots in 1080, because some of the other ones on Amazon and stuff like that, I'll leave a link for this below and a code for this below from Amazon. And I'm going to show you guys how to use underwater cameras for catching lake trout. Now, underwater cameras can be a giant pain in the butt, but I'm going to show you some techniques right now and some tricks to not make them a pain in the butt. One is to start with a camera that isn't crazy expensive. There's nothing worse than paying a lot of money for a camera. Like, I think some of the bigger ones, the big one I have now is like over $1,000 now, and having it not work and having it be really complicated. So start with one of the cheaper, simpler ones. And we have live scope right now in front of the screen too. Right now, this model is the DVR version, and I'll leave the exact name for it right here because I don't remember because I just got it. But it comes in a really cool carrying case, and it's a 7-inch screen, and it's got a built-in DVR, so I can actually record what I'm seeing. Now, that is a huge advantage to people that want to share on social media like myself. If you're just want to go out on the weekend and just want to fish and don't want to share the footage, don't venture for the DVR. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to snap the camera on, and we're going to make sure it's orientated the right way. So these cameras all kind of have a hanging point up top. We want to make sure that we're not looking at ourselves upside down, so we're going to spin it. Hope you guys can see me on there. Spin it that way. What I wish these companies would do is put like an up arrow saying like this is up, so you don't have to spend time doing this. But we are going to hang it and make sure that we're good. Now, another quick tip about cameras. It's just like a cell phone camera. It's actually less than a cell phone camera because they don't want to put, that crazy technology underneath the ice. Is you want to know what your water clarity is. If your water clarity is junk, you're still not going to see with an underwater camera. You might see something right in front of the camera. But what we want to do, so see how the camera's already starting to twist? If I just go like this, I'm going to get a lot of line twist, and I'm going to be fighting with it down there. So what I want to do is actually unplug the camera real quick, and I'm going to lower it down like I would if I was a bait caster. So I'm going to directly unspool it just like this. Now this is like an 80-foot cable or something like that. I can see this going down on live scope, so I know kind of when to stop. So that is a huge thing, and I actually have a tripod to put this on. And this is just the initial test, mind you. So let me get out the little tripod. Now the tripod's separate, but they sent me this as well. So this has a little remote that you can spin the cable on. But yeah, if you don't do it this way, what's going to happen is you'll get down there and you'll get it all aimed at your jig and everything. And what will happen is it will start to spin on you, and then you'll have to be fighting with it all day. So this is the #1 trick that I've never actually talked about before. It does take a while to do. All right, you just put your fingers in the back of that and drop that straight down. We're in 45 feet of water on a lake that probably has 20 feet of clarity during the ice fishing season, maybe 15. And I'm only going to be a ways away from my jig. Now this is just a test to see how far I can see. What you want to do is get your camera as far away from your jig as possible so you don't spook incoming fish. So some fish are scared of it. Some fish are actually attracted to it, like burbot are really attracted to the camera. So we're going to plug our camera back in. And one of the coolest things about the camera is I actually was using sonar and camera before I started using live scope. I learned so much about fish behavior with the camera that I took years of guessing out of how to catch lake trout because I started using that kind of camera first. Alright, so we kind of have ourselves in the right spot, and our clarity is pretty far. So let me show you I'm recording right now and it says it's 4:46. I haven't updated the timestamp on here, but it says it's 4:46. We can see pretty far. We can probably see 15-20 feet, and my hole is right next to me. So what we can do is use an ice saw to kind of drag the cable away from us, or we can drill a hole outside the shack and use the tripod to steer it around us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go drill another hole outside the shack and put that down there. So we're going to yank the cable up, throw it down this other hole, and see if we can still see our jig. Now this is the hard part, getting this dialed in, but once you know your lake and your water clarity, it's pretty repeatable, especially if it's a nice sunny day, which it was supposed to be, but obviously it's nice and cloudy today. So this FishPRO comes with a remote and a little tripod. Like I said, that's sold separately, so we are going to actually loop the wire around that so we can spin and see what we're doing. And unfortunately, they actually say this right in the directions. This is only rated for 9.5-inch hole. I drilled 10-inch holes just to make landing fish a little easier. So we're just going to put this device on there like that. And we're going to do kind of a loop like that. We're going to turn this on. And that's going to rotate our camera for us over the hole and spin it so we can see it. So it takes a hot minute to get dialed in, the FishPRO. And once you, like I said, once you know your lake and you know your water clarity, so right now I'm about 6 or 7 feet away from my jigging hole, and I'm using a fairly small jig. If I was using something bigger, I'd be pushed back a little bit further. Or if my lake was clear, I'd be pushed back further as well. You want that thing as far as away as possible. And what's nice about this records in 1080, same thing as that other brand I'm not going to mention that's super expensive and super bulky. I mean, this thing can fit probably in my side pocket in my bibs here, which would be really, really sweet. Now we just got to wait for our fish to come in. And our goal is just to pound bottom here for lake trout. So one thing about lake trout is they're super addicted to noise. So we are just tapping bottom there with a smaller jig. Normally I'd be using a little bit bigger jig if we had bigger lake trout in here. So like most recording devices, if you don't hit, like, just cycle the recording feature every once in a while, it'll make sure that you don't have these giant clips that go to waste if something goes wrong or you lose power. This has a 10,000 I think milliamp battery in it, lithium rechargeable. Comes with all of the stuff in there. Comes with even a power block. Most companies don't even give you power blocks anymore. USB cable, and it comes with some weights to weigh the stuff down. So notice how my camera is not doing the little spinny thing, which is the problem for most cameras. It's because, one, the cable's a little thinner. You really can't do it that much. And then two is because I unreeled it the way that it's supposed to be unreeled. You have those larger cameras where you just kind of unwrap it like that, it just gets all tangled up. Twist the whole day. It's irritating. Oh, there he is. Got him. That was cool. Smoked on the very last minute there. Looking at my phone. Yeah. Alright. Stop recording. Little racer. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. But going right back in. Alright, one of the super cool things about underwater cameras is the barrier to entry of cost. So this one is $260 because it has the DVR. You don't really need the fancy tripod. They make some other cheaper tripods out there that are just, you literally just spin a cable on top of basically a little tripod or a plate, basically. Really low tech. Takes a little more time and it's not adjustable throughout the day, but that trick that I just told you about unreeling is number one. You don't have to deal with that. If I unreeled this the other way, where I just kind of like stripped the line off, it would be twisting and untwisting all day. Right now it's not doing anything. I think I do have a little current down there that's messing with me. The barrier entry is really low, so 260 for this. For the non-DVR version, I'm only using DVR so I can share it with you guys, share the footage. It's 200 bucks. I mean, this is a really good camera. One of the things that breaks the price barrier between this and a model that's $1,000 is it's sunlight viewable. So these are better in shacks. If you have a bright sunny day, they're really hard to see outside of a shack. That's really the only difference. This has pretty much the same camera. All of these companies use the same kind of chip or camera chip that are all made overseas. So 200 bucks to learn a lot about lake trout is worth it. Oh, right there. Oh, he's right there. Come here. Oh, I missed him. No, come here. Oh, I missed him again. Come on. No. Come back. Still right there. Got him. Oh. He's not coming back after that. I think I got him on the outside of the face. Ooh, he's down there. On my phone. Oh, here's another one. Oh, you little bugger. Come on. Got him. That was sick. Two of them came in, both of them hit it. Ooh! Popped them off at the hole, folks. There he is. Come here. Staring right at the camera. That was weird. He came in kind of hot. Looked at the camera and was like, there's something up. So I don't feel like lake trout are super smart, but they do learn things. Like, I've been hooked before, I'm not going to bite that again. That's just like an instinct response. Or I got hooked last time I saw one of those cameras. That kind of stuff. Oh, there he is. Come here. What are you doing? Would not be surprised if he bumps into the camera. No, he just swam past. The big advantage to using the underwater camera, one is learning how fish interact with your jig when you're ice fishing and seeing structure down there. Two is those fish that came in hot and kind of tagged the jig, those would have been easy to hook up, especially if you're jigging blind without a sonar. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on a sonar, that would have been 100% feel bite, which is hard for a lot of people. I'm using Circle Tackle pike and lake trout walleye rods. They're very sensitive graphite blank. Really easy to feel in this rod, but it's hard to teach. And if you have a lot of cheaper rods, which are like more fiberglass or maybe an ugly stick that's not like more wobbly than it is sensitive, the camera's the way to go because you can see that fish pick up that jig and you know exactly when to set the hook and your hookup ratio will go through the roof. I will leave the link for FishPRO down below and a little bit of discount code. And if you want to learn more about lake trout, I'll see you over here in one of those videos. And if you want to see just all the lake trout stuff, I'll see you over here. See you on one of those next videos.